How long do you need to wait for your caulk to dry? You'll be shocked to know that this is not a straightforward answer, but there are 3 tips that you can use to figure this out every single time. And it all starts with number 1, and that is there's not one drying time that you need to worry about. When I say drying time, I'm talking about the drying of the exterior outside surface of your bead of caulk. So once you lay down that bead of caulk and finish it, once you feel that it's not tacky on the outside, it feels dry, that's the drying time that I'm talking about. And a lot of your caulks will say that it's paintable in 20 minutes, and that's what they're referring to, is that exterior drying time. But there's a second time that you need to worry about, and that's the curing time. So that's drying all the way through the entire bead of caulk. You need it to cure properly. This is going to vary based on caulk type and several other factors. But this leads us to the second tip, and the second tip is you need to read the label on your caulk tube. And I know that sounds super straightforward, but how many of you actually read the label on your tube of caulk? Every caulk tube should have on it specified drying and curing times, but they're going to look a little bit different on the label. As an example, this Alex Fast Dry says that it can be painted in 20 minutes, but it also says you need to wait 24 hours for it to completely dry, aka cure, before you can expose it to things like water. But then some of your labels are going to be pretty darn clear, like this GE silicone that I use in my bathrooms. This one says that you need to wait 24 hours before you have any sort of water exposure. But then if you look at the cure time on the label, it says 7 days. Yeah, 7 days to fully cure in place. So you want to be careful with these numbers and make sure that you follow them appropriately. From a temperature perspective, there's a range that you generally want to stay within, and that's approximately above 40 degrees Fahrenheit and below 80 degrees Fahrenheit. So that's above 4.5 degrees centigrade and below 26.5-ish degrees centigrade. This is going to give you the ideal drying times that you're going to find on your manufacturer's label. From a humidity perspective, you want to be below 60% humidity. This is going to give you your ideal range, generally below 60%. For your optimal dry times. But what do you do when you're operating outside of those tolerance levels? There's a rule that I've always followed, and this is not anything that anyone taught me, it's just something that I've always stuck with, and it has always worked for me. If I'm dealing with 61% or higher humidity, or maybe I'm above 80 degrees Fahrenheit or below 40, I always add more time. If I'm outside of those ranges, I always default to a 24-hour minimum. Sometimes I'll just go straight to 48 hours. But when you have a product that's telling you that you have a full 7-day cure time, I will normally stick with the 7 days. I've never run into a situation where it has literally taken 7 days for any of my interior home projects to cure properly. Now, one way you can control that in your home is using a dehumidifier and having really good ventilation. You can also turn your HVAC system into that temperature range for that period of time that you're doing your work in order to keep it into that optimal drying range. But with all of that said, what caulk or silicone should you be using in the first place? Well, I did a bunch of tests on this, and for the details on that, click or tap on this video. And until the next time, keep doing it yourself.